Welcome back. In this lesson, we're diving into savings accounts and the one thing every adult should have, but most don't, and that's an emergency fund. Therefore, my goal today is to make sure that we get started off on the right foot when it comes to understanding savings accounts and utilizing them to our benefit. So first, what is a savings account? It is a type of bank account that's designed to hold your money and help it grow over time while kind of protecting it. Think of it kind of like a money hammock. Your cash can relax there without getting spent on impulse buys or those late night food deliveries. However, unlike checking accounts, savings accounts are not meant for daily spending. They often have limits on how many withdrawals you can make per month, so you have to keep that in mind. Now, on the other hand, they can actually earn some good interest, or APY, meaning annual percentage yield. This essentially means that the banks kind of pay you a little something each month for keeping your money parked there. But the goods with this is really only found with high yield savings accounts, or HYSAs, which we will talk about in a second. But first, let's talk about general interest, because this is where savings accounts really do start working for you. Now, interest is basically the bank saying, hey, thanks for letting your money chill here. Here's a tiny thank you gift. But there is a catch. Traditional banks often give you tiny interest, like 0.01%, and it's truly a minuscule amount. But online savings accounts, they can offer 3% or more depending on the market conditions at the time. So that's really a big difference. And can really be a difference between earning 10 cents a year or $30 a year on the same $1,000. And a really cool kind of pro tip is always check the annual percentage yield before you open a savings account. Now, you might have heard the term HYSA besides me just mentioning it, but it stands for high yield savings accounts. It's just a fancy name for online savings accounts that offer a much better interest rate when compared to regular brick and mortar banks. Banks like Ally Bank, Marcus by Goldman Sachs, and Capital One 360 are really well known for high yield savings accounts. Now, we will be referencing HYSAs more later on in the practical walkthrough at the end of this module, but for now, let's just talk about things that can easily set us back monetarily as new adults and how a savings account can help us really mitigate some of these issues. Most notably, we have emergencies. Now, they can happen, and honestly, they will eventually happen. Things like flat tires, your phone breaks, unexpected medical bills, a layoff or furlough, whatever it is. That's where your emergency fund comes in to protect you from financial strain. And so your emergency fund is really just a stash of cash that helps you handle life's oh crap moments without panicking or putting everything on a credit card that you cannot pay back in a timely fashion. A good starter goal for an emergency fund is about $500 to $1,000 as a new adult, and you want to kind of start out being able to cover those small emergencies like a simple car repair or a broken phone. Now, the next goal is 3 to 6 months worth of living expenses. This gives you real breathing room if you lose your income or face a major life event. So if your expenses are, let's say, $3,000 a month, you will need to work up to having at least a $9,000 emergency fund to cover 3 months of expenses. But don't let that kind of bigger number scare you, because emergency funds are built one paycheck at a time. Every dollar counts, and the real power in building an emergency fund comes from being consistent. Now, as for how to set up your emergency fund, you really want to keep your emergency fund in a separate savings account if you can, not mixed with your checking account. It should be easy to access, but not too easy to use, so you're not tempted to dip into it unnecessarily. Now, ideally, as I kind of alluded to earlier, you want to consider opening a high yield savings account to house your emergency fund so that it earns a higher APY, which can further help boost your savings. Now, I want you to understand that your emergency fund is not an investment. It's more like insurance, but better because you own it. You pay the premium to yourself so that when the emergency comes, you can take your insurance payout worry-free. So just a quick recap of the main points. A savings account helps your money grow and keeps it separate from your everyday spending account, which is your checking account. Now, then you have high yield savings accounts, and these give you more APY than traditional banks, which is essentially more money each month for putting your money in a certain bank. An emergency fund is your personal financial insurance. You should be paying yourself a premium every paycheck to build up your eventual insurance payout. Now, you want to start with a goal of $500 to $1,000 in your emergency fund, and then work your way up to 3 to 6 months of your living expenses. And then you want to keep your emergency fund in a separate high yield savings account that you don't touch unless you absolutely have to. Okay. All right. That's it for savings accounts and emergency funds. You're not just saving money, you're saving your peace of mind for future you. So the next lesson, we're stepping into the world of credit cards and credit scores. I know it can be scary, but we're going to talk about it. We're going to talk about how they connect and can be a powerful tool if you use them the right way. So see you in the next one. Take care.